My name is Jessie Easton, and this is Write the Hard Thing. This is just our weekly invitation to get together and to write and to breathe and to just see what wants to come up when we write from the body and when we write from a place of safety. So, for those of you who haven't joined me before, I do this weekly, and the flow is I will offer a prompt and you can ignore it or use it. It's totally your call. Prompts are just entry points into our story and it can be really helpful instead of just looking at the blank page to start. It just kind of drops you into a memory and in through the body. If you have something that you're already working on that you want to use this time for, you can do that as well. It's totally your call. Follow your own thread or use the prompt that I give. And then after the prompt, I will do a short grounding that kind of grounds you into the prompt itself so that you can drop into the body and write from that place. After the grounding, we will write for 10 minutes. I know it's not a long time. That's kind of the point. The constraint is meant to challenge us to to kind of get to the center as quickly as you can. Um, Especially for me, I'm very like long-winded and I have a lot of preamble, so it's a really good practice. And after we write, I will take us through another short grounding just to kind of settle us back into our day, especially if something came up that was a bit heavy. We also will title our pieces and share them in the chat if that feels good. So, um, we today our prompt is going to be write about a place you always return to. So that can be a place that you return to by choice or by force, and it can be a physical place or it can be less literal. So it could be like a state of mind or a memory you always circle back to. Um, and when I say like by choice or by force, I mean like it's something that you're obviously choosing or something, maybe or somebody that kind of always draws you in or brings you back to a certain like place or memory. So when you're doing, when you're writing, going into the prompt, try not to analyze it and write so much from your analytical mind. Just drop into your body and see what's there through the grounding. And as you go, try to resist the urge to edit or fix. Just stream of conscious, like let it pour out and just stay with the feeling because that's really like what we're after here. And if you do feel yourself like tightening or trying to explain too much, just take a breath, take a pause, come back to the body. Your breath is always with you. So we're going to begin by finding some stillness. And so, wherever you are, just take a moment to arrive. You can close your eyes if that feels good. And we're going to take a slow breath in through our nose and release. Feel the ground beneath you. Notice how it's holding you. And on your next inhale, imagine you're standing in that place. Whatever place came up for you, that place you always return to. Just inhale and exhale, letting the space start to take shape around you. Dropping in through the senses. What do you see? The color of the walls, the sky, the light. What do you hear? Take another inhale. What smells are in the air? Is there a taste in your mouth while you're there? And just notice your body in this place. Stay here for one more inhale and a slow exhale out your mouth. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's write from that place, okay? Again, the prompt is write about a place you always return to, whether that was by choice or by force. It can be a physical place or it can be a place that's less literal, like a place in your memory, something that you're always circling back to. So I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes and I will turn my screen around so you can see it and I will let you know when you have 1 minute left. Just remember to stay with the breath, especially if this takes you somewhere heavy or raw. Okay, you have 1 minute left. Tie up your last thread. Finish your thought. Okay. Oh, it goes by so fast, which I know is the point, but still, every time. Um, I hope that that took you somewhere that you needed to go. For me, eh, I always end up writing about the desert and the Mojave, which is where I was born and raised, and I hate that place, but it always makes its way. It's like it lives in my bones and in my body. So it's always like there's always more to say about it. And I'm always surprised by how I still have so much to say. And it's funny because in my memoir, um, I remember my mom being asking if she was the villain of the story. And I was like, well, not really. Like the story doesn't really have a villain. I mean, I guess the reader can say if they think my mom is the villain, but that's not was not my intention to write her in that way. But after I was all done with it, it ended up being that it was the desert that really was the villain. So it's just interesting the power a place can hold. Um, I said this at the top of the hour, but I am in Portugal right now, and I am in an apartment, and it's small, and my son is in the next room, and he can just burst out at any moment. So I do want to end in grounding, but just I also want you to be aware that it may be disrupted, and I don't want that to be like really jarring. So, anyways, before we ground, I would love to take a couple minutes and just title our piece. So, titling can be a really powerful practice to do with this work for a lot of reasons. One, I think having a title helps us get to the center of what we actually want to say, or maybe even just the center of the feeling that's in the piece or beneath the piece. So that the title could literally be just one word or whole sentence. It doesn't matter. Even if you just wrote a sentence, titling it can be really powerful. And also, I think it's a way of telling our work that it matters, telling it that it's worthy of a title, like even these 10 minutes that this work is important. So, um, I would love if you were open to sharing it in the chat. I like to see what comes up. I think it adds some resonance and connection. It's a way to say, like, this is what came up for me without sharing your whole piece. Um, just a way to bring in some visibility that feels more safe, but there's also no pressure. Um, Melody Kramer says the meadow. I love that. I have a meadow too. Isolation. Karen Richards says isolation. Tranquil Rain says cherry colored funk. Thank you for sharing. I love seeing these titles. I love seeing what comes up and the creativity behind it and how much power is packed into sometimes just one word. Um, and Karen says, you write about your mom with so much compassion. Thank you, Karen. Um, yeah, I mean, I love her despite, in spite of, and because of everything. Um, okay, I thank you for just being brave and sharing your titles. I know it's hard enough, right, to do this work, to write and to breathe and to show up here, and then to actually share a little piece. It is brave, and you should be proud. And I think it helps build the practice and the muscle of showing up for yourself and for others in these spaces. So, anyways, we will close with some grounding. I think it's pretty quiet, so I think we're good. I think we're safe. So let's just take a moment. You can close your eyes if that feels good. And we're going to start with just one deep breath in through your nose and slowly release out through your mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale deeply, letting your ribs expand and release, letting your shoulders drop. And let's take one more breath in. And this time, send it into a place in your body that felt most alive when you were writing. So, deep breath in. Maybe it's in your chest or your throat or your stomach. Inhale into that spot and exhale, releasing, letting that weight soften. And then, if it feels good, just roll your shoulders or roll your neck, your shoulders, shake out your hands. Just move some of that energy, the energy that was stirred up in writing, and just let your body know that it's safe. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, thank you. I love seeing you take this time for yourself and for your writing and just showing up to this space. I say this all the time, but I really wish I could see your faces. I think maybe starting this in the winter, I might move this over to Zoom and seeing what that looks like, maybe like monthly. Um, Normally we do this weekly, but because I'm in Portugal and the timing is really tricky, especially locationally with my son and everything, I think I'm going to skip the next 2 weeks. If I might pop on, and if you can make it, it's always great, but, I don't know, I have to feel it out. I don't wanna promise coming up next week if it's feeling too forced. This is really meant to be a gentle space for everyone involved, including myself and my family. So, if not, I encourage you to do this practice next week. Just take the 10 minutes, take a few breaths. It doesn't have to be hard, it's very simple, and just see what shows up. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a lovely weekend.